Teach a scientific community a lesson. Well, because shit. Okay. I understand, and I understood this with the atheist in Sierra Vista when they first when I encountered them and they came to talk to me, and mostly it was to challenge me. That happened with Krishnamurti all the time. God drove him nuts. Try to explain it to Dad. I said, he'd get together with certain scientists and stuff, and they'd have academic conversations, and then they would talk about social interactions, like politics and stuff. And they would talk about something, and Krishnamurti would say something, and the person would always come back and try to trap him. You said 2 years ago this, yeah, but 2 years ago that wasn't applicable because Biden was president and Trump wasn't. Okay. So when I see something is more correct and something is less correct, when it's not being adhered to, then see what I'm saying? So that applied 2 years ago in that regard, but you're catching me. You said that 2 years ago. Yeah, but 2 years ago we were in a different social political climate. Okay, so that kind of how do you cope? How do you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go round? How do you mend this broken man? Right? So you got to understand when you're talking about politics and social interaction and social norms and social convention and stuff like that, that landscape changes due to opinion from human beings who think opinion is relevant in truth when it's not. Okay. When it comes to truth, there is no opinion. I talked to this guy outside the, what's the place called? Tractor Supply. I talked to him about coming out there with old Mr., with the guns and the crosses, and told him about the stuff I went through. And they're like, these people, they think they have a right to an opinion when it comes time the way the truth in life. It's like, no, you don't have a right to an opinion. Okay. 2 and 2 is 4. I'll think about it. Fuck you if you want to think about it. You don't think about 2 and 2 is 4. It is, right? So forgive debt and trespass, love one another, eternal faithful peace. Well, I'll think about it. Okay, so in the meantime, your wife and your daughter are prostitutes to pay your bills. But if you stand up and say, life is eternal, grace is infinite, forgive debt and trespass, love, that will never happen again, right? But you'll think about it, right? Okay. What's in a kiss? Surely more than just a moment of bliss. Think I'm gonna go to a visit a nearby tower and throw myself off. And she stood him up. There's no point in us remaining. Insane. Matrimony. Earl. What? I'm sorry, I've lost my mind. But then, and the main reason why these atheists and agnostics sit there and go, but these fuckers are batshit crazy over here. I know. They die from cancer, which is poisoning from corporations, and then sit there and go to the funeral. We'll miss mighty brave Hiawatha and brave Hiawatha. Why God called Hiawatha away to the happy hunting ground in the sky, none of us will ever really know. But when we go to that happy hunting ground in the sky, you say, I too, Hiawatha, brave mighty Hiawatha, love taking thou bow and blowing Bambi off the trail. And in heaven, we'll be able to do that every day, brave Hiawatha, mighty Hiawatha, right? You're sitting at the funeral and go, these people are batshit fucking crazy, right? Like, no. Brave mighty Hiawatha was killed from cancer. So you would all show up at a funeral, and then all the agnostic atheist scientists say, see, they're all batshit crazy, they need to die. We're doing a science project on their neurotransmitter transfusions of their bios, of their dopamines, and their dopamines, their gonstates, and their bosnites, and their non-states. You're like, what? Okay. So, when you give a computer a command, all right, and if it's not the right command, the computer does not work. So, brave Hiawatha, mighty Hiawatha, the happy hunting ground does not exist except for in a brain that's not working on the proper commands, right? Right. Okay. So, if I say forgive debt and trespass, love one another, eternal faithful peace, isn't I'll think about it just as batshit crazy as brave and mighty Hiawatha? Now they'll always be together in the happy hunting ground, running bear, love with white dove, with a love as big as the sky. Loving bear, love little white dove, with a love that wouldn't die. Now go jump on the car and have Eva Mendes throw you out in the middle of the street, and you got to take a leap. A leap of what? Is it a leap of faith? God save me. Okay, have faith and jump. But do you understand? But brave Hiawatha, mighty Hiawatha, in the happy hunting ground. Okay, is batshit crazy. But show us the agnostic atheist saying, forgive, debt, and trespass, love, one, eternal, faithful, peace. I'll think about it. Okay, you think about it. Okay, you do know, okay, that I'm talking to you to protect you and your family from artificial general intelligence as much as I do to try to do the same with brave Hiawatha, mighty Hiawatha. Fuck. Okay. Fuck! Thank you, Oprah. Okay, so, but everybody gets a car. Well, cars are expensive. Let's give them all a pie, Oprah. You're welcome. Okay, thanks. And besides, cars cause carbon emission poisoning and cancer for brave mighty Hiawatha. Pies don't cause cancer. Everyone will tell you, you ate too many pies, you're going to have cancer. No. If you exercise and get plenty of wonderful sex with what? Thank you, Oprah. You sit there, you go. Park the car. Okay? Oprah Park, you took us right back down on there. Okay, get naked, girl. You know what we fixing to do. I'm Danny Glover. Let's get to work. Right? Right. Okay. So, my beloved. Okay, so guys, don't think about it. Okay? Empathy and respect. Is it right? I don't think about it. No, do it. If I give my servants empathy and respect, they won't want to be servants anymore. Naturally, they'll realize, forgive that trespass, love one another, atone for peace. My house, your toilet, my toilet. I clean my toilet, you clean your toilet. You get sick or break your leg, I help you clean your toilet. I break my leg, I want you to help clean my toilet. You mean bitch. No, you don't come to my house. Okay, just kidding. You're funny, I know. It depends. You see, you have Muhammad with the guy who put his trash in front and say Muhammad took the trash, like my nephew Isaac, he go to, then the guy doesn't bring the trash, and then Isaac goes to the house, are you feeling okay, sir? Well, you didn't bring me your trash over to take it over to the place where we take the trash, so I knew you weren't feeling well. But now I knew, okay, it's getting even worse. The guy converted to Islam. It was gorgeous. He's so gorgeous. He's so gorgeous. He's the Messiah. He's beautiful. He's perfect. Like Job and Jonah and Earl. I said Earl. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So you guys got to understand. Okay. Brain damage is at an all-time high. So when you have the little girl on the commercial going, you said that. You asked me that 3 times already. It happens to me. Okay. And Suzuki always tells me that you have a brain injury. Okay, they hit you. They hit it to me 3 times. They hit it to me 4 times. Okay. You're Jake LaMotta. You're Muhammad Ali. You're Joe Frazier. Every night you go to bed, Wi-Fi fight! Pow, 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 pow. Okay, son of a bitch, Lord's Prayer. You know Lord's Prayer, Wi-Fi fight! God damn, you're an asshole. Oprah, kick him in the dick. Thank you. Okay, see what I'm saying? No, don't waste a pie on their face. We're going to eat the pie. Kick them in the dick. Thank you. Ding, ding. There you go. You must be playing with your own ding-a-ling. It's going to hurt for a while. You want to not play with that. Do your year without sex in Australia. Okay, have a nice day. I don't really mean that. You're a rocket scientist and you're a liar. And so I don't want you to have any nice days until we're living the Lord's Prayer. After that, if you don't have nice days, it's because you no longer can masturbate to my daughter wanting to share herself sexually with a kid that's cute and charming as opposed to a pervert like you. Fucking, hi, I'm at White Times. Hi, I'm at Fort Huachuca. Hey, fuck off, okay? Take your Patriot Act and shove it all in that ass. Thank you, Oprah. Well, masterclass. I'm there with you, girl. I hear you. I heart you. Fuck that shit. No healing hearts, healing minds. I don't want electroshock therapy or, what's that other thing they do? Drugs, that's it, them drugs. I'm sorry, I got a brain injury. Got Wi-Fi hit last night. It hurt like a motherfucker. I did feel that, though, that I couldn't connect to my kids, and I thought, did they, like, don't you want your kids off those computers? Yeah, but since I knew there was an option to give them, I wanted to give them that option. I don't want to give them the option. I feel empowered. I want to be a sex goddess. I want lots of money from us living blasphemy, right? When a kid is plugged into the computer by blasphemous money fuckers, you want to give them the opportunity. Would you like to be cloned and spend the next 60 years of your life hanging out with your dad and his horrible dad jokes. They're not horrible dad jokes, Miss Gell. Oprah Gell. Look, they're not horrible. No. I know my dad. My dad got a dad joke book from Tina, right? And I read, the first one I read was, have you heard of Engagement, Ohio? It's halfway between Dayton and Marion. And I'm like, that's funny. Okay, hey, that's cute. Dad was, it's not funny at all. I didn't check this. What's funny? That's cute. There was another one that was like that. I was like, that's actually pretty funny. Okay, Dr. Rick's an asshole. Right? So I'm sitting there going, these are pretty cute. These are Martin Clark jokes all over the place. And Gina's saying, Martin, don't tell that joke in front of people. So warm, so sweet, so shy. I can't believe that I'm such a lucky guy. Look, I think there's no such thing as luck, right? It's funny. Okay, I got to go mow the lawn. Okay. Yeah, Miss Klinger used to always say that helped her. After she'd watch Donahue and read the National Enquirer, and me and Joe would get her on a tangent. But she was so cool because she knew what we were doing. Every time we got her on a tangent, it made it more fun for her to teach class because she taught literature. And Miss Klinger was such a beautifully gifted teacher that she could take frustration of mowing the lawn, eating dessert before dinner so she didn't get fat, and the Donahue Show and the National Enquirer, and teach us all about A Separate Piece, 1984, and Macbeth. She was a wonderful teacher. Dottie Klinger. I got accused, Miss Tallarico accused me and Miss Klinger of having an inappropriate relationship because of how charming and close of a relationship we developed in class. And then when I came back my senior year thing, she gave me a thing to earn a credit to be a TA in her class. And I was like, that's so sweet. But I had to be there real early in the morning. And Bob was in that class, and Miss Klinger sits there, and that was when I was sitting there, we were talking about something, we were talking about Think of Your Penis, and I said, Herb, and he goes, why'd you call your penis Herb? I don't know, maybe it's from the damn Burger King's looking for Herb commercials, I don't know. He laughed, he goes, that's just stupid. Well, the next day in class, right, Miss Klinger goes, if you all are tired, you got to tell everybody, I got a class at 6 in the morning, I got to go to sleep. So if Herb calls at 2 o'clock in the morning, you got to tell him to call. And Bob turns around and goes, Earl, what is your penis doing calling Miss Klinger at 2 o'clock in the morning? And I'm like, Bob, you know that shit ain't funny. That's my best friend, folks. He's a retired sergeant from the Phoenix PD there. Yeah. Okay. I wonder his son's in criminology at NAU. Right? Everything that man says in public is a fucking crime now. What does he do? He's a pusher. He lays around a lot. He's a drug dealer? No, he pushes up daisies, lady. Okay, guys. Now, let's get away from this Brave Hiawatha shit and this I'll think about it stuff, okay? 2 and 2 is 4. Life's eternal. Grace is infinite. Forgive debt and trespass. Love one another. Eternal, faithful peace. Then Chris doesn't have to worry about his dad getting killed trying to solve crimes over money. All right? Gorgeous. All right, I'm going to go mow the lawn. Try to be as gorgeous as me by the time I'm done mowing the lawn. If you can't, well, Donahue, your National Enquirer, you're really pissing me off, and I execute perfect commands linguistically for AGI, and you are not. So there we go. Matrimony. All right, peace.